Hello and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to talk a little about saving money and investing that money and getting some returns on your investment because, well, it's something that we've been discussing with my friends recently in these kind of times as 2020 goes. It is very important to think about the future and try to get some money for your future, I think, especially if you are young. And what is one of the discussions that always come up in this kind of discussions is this topic of the compound interest, because the compound interest is something we all learn about in school, but it is quite unintuitive. So here I made a pair of tables for kind of demonstrating the compound interest. So in all of these cases we have the same 1000 units of currency. That is our starting, let's say the starting fund that we are the starting capital that we want to invest. And this is the interest rate, so this is how much percentage return you get after one period. So like after 0 period, of course, you only get your starting amount, but after one period you get your returns, and then it compounds, the returns compound. And so of course if you have like 0.1%, then it starts to compound very slowly. If you have 1%, it's compounding a little faster. But what is really important here, so this period could be anything. So if it's a daily interest rate, so every day you get 0.1%, then how much would you get after 1 year? Where you don't just get 36.5%, you get 44%. And this is what the second table is showing you, that this compounded value that you have here, how much more is this compared to your starting amount. And so if you could make like 0.1% every day, then you would make 44% on a yearly basis. That would be quite nice. But it's usually, yearly rates. We are talking about yearly rates, and maybe we want to keep our investment for like 10 years or 20 or 30 years. And you can see that if it's only 0.1% on a yearly basis, which is a lot of like a central bank interest rates are around this, if they are not negative or 0, well, for 10 years you still just get 1%. So even if it's compounding, it doesn't really show up. If I showed you a little more, I have to go into the realm of decimal places to show any effect of the compounding. But if you have like 1% every year, then you can see that you don't just get 10% after 10 years, you get an extra 0.5%, which is not bad. And so if you compare this, if you go from 1% to 2%, so you're double your interest rate. That won't double, actually, it won't just double how much you make. It doesn't just become 21 from the 10.5, it becomes 21.9. It's even more than double. And if you go up from 21.9, so if you go from 2% to 4%, then you don't just go from 21.9 to 24, you go for 48. So that's even more. So interest rates, very important, but this is kind of not the case what most of us, especially when you are young, this is not what you are faced off with. Maybe, if you had some very rich relative who left some money for you and you decide, okay, I make enough money, I'm young, I'm not spending too much on luxuries, I can just put this money for 10 years in a bank and I will just take it out with the interest. Or maybe the Nigerian prince keeps his promise and gives you this amount of money and you can just keep it in a bank while you still have a job and just take it out with interest once you get tired of your job. But this is not what usually happens. usually what happens is that you are saving money every month and want to put your saving away in a place where it works for you. And so this is kind of that situation. Let me just delete this really fast. So just let's keep our basic, so just one run down here. And what is really important here is that we got an annual interest rate. I calculate using this equation, so I just divide the annual interest rate by 100, add 1 to it, and then take it to the 1/12 power. So this is going to be our multiple, which we will have to multiply our money every month. So this corresponds to like a 0.165% monthly interest rate, and we will be saving 100 units of currency every month. So you can see that at the time of the beginning we have nothing, and then after the first month we get the interest for nothing, which is the interest rate, or the interest on nothing is always nothing, independent of your interest rate. And then you next month you get another 100 and then put that in there, and well, you for your first 100 you got the interest, and then this whole sum will be multiplied by this monthly multiple, so you will get the interest on your savings of the last month, and you put in your new savings. So this is how it goes up. You can see that after, so in this 2% case, what you got is you got 10 extra units, 10.9, so it's almost like 11 units of extra currency after 1 year. So it's like 1/10 of your monthly savings extra after 1 year, because you started from 0, and even the first month saving did not go a full year yet, and the last one is only just got 1 month, so it's not much. But this whole amount will be we'll get the interest rate for 1 whole year now. So after 2 years you are in the plus like 46%, so almost half. So after 2 years you got almost the half of a monthly saving extra, and then after 3 years you got 1 extra month worth of savings, and then next year, so it is the 4th year, you got a little, almost 2 months worth. 5 years you got like the 3 months worth, and then it goes up to more. It's almost like 4.5, and here you already got like after 7 months you got like 6 months worth of that, and after 10 years you get more than, so this is like a 1,200. So it's like, yeah, it looks like 3,000, what, yeah, 1,200 is like 1 year of 1 year worth of saving have accrued in interests after 10 years. So if you were saving your money and you got a 2% interest rate for 10 years, it's like you've saved basically 13 years worth of money in no, I mean 11 years worth of money in 10 years. So, well, what if you could get a much better deal, and instead of the 2% you can get a 4% interest rate? Well, of course, things are much better. It's not that like you get like 2 times more money in the end, but instead of the 1,200 extra, you will get like yeah, it's almost the double. It's more than double, of course. It's 2,600. Yeah, it's more than double. But maybe you are scared that this 4% annual interest rate, so whatever instrument you are putting your money in, this lower interest rate is much more stable. This is very risky. Maybe it's some kind of stock interest, stock related investment, which can go up, go down. So sometimes it just goes down, and when it goes down, then you are losing some money, and maybe at that time you cannot just take out your money of the investment because then it's not worth it. So maybe you want to keep the more stable investment and get a little lower interest rate, but maybe you can just try to save a little more, maybe just 10% more. What happens when you save just 10% more? Well, if you just save 10% more in the beginning, you are actually saving much more money than what happens to your friend who got the better deal but saves less. So after 10 years, it's getting, so he's going to get ahead after you, and will, after the 10-year period, of course, he will make more than you make due to the compounding effect. But for this first 10 years, just saving 10% more is actually almost as effective as having 2 times higher interest. So this is, I think, a very important thing to keep in mind, is that just increasing your savings a little can go a long way. And of course, the more especially if you are young and you don't have children to take care of, you should save as much as you can, and save it in any form of instrument you can, because even if you don't find the best interest rates, you will make more money, you will have more savings if you just save a little more. And well, you have to start early, because let's just make a copy of here. So let's go back to our original case, which is similar to our first row, but let's say that you did not save anything for the first 3 years because you were lazy. So you start at the 3-year mark, and you want to make as much as just the first case. So you don't want to make as much as this, just the first case. How much do you have to increase your savings? Do you have to increase it? Yeah, you have to increase it about 50% more. So compared to this one. So the same interest rate, but you miss out the first 3 years. And so, it's like, not just, you don't just miss the 1/3 of this period. So if you just you missed out 1/3, so you go with 133 instead of 100, then you will be still seriously behind, because you have missed out all the compounding on your first 3 years. So it's 150. And if you compare, there is like a higher interest rate case, I think you will even have to save 2 times more. So this guy also got the 4%. Oh no, actually 2 times high is too much. So let's see. So is it gonna be also 150? Oh yeah. So it seems like it's independent of the interest rate, or not. Well, not independent exactly, but there is not that big of a difference with interest rate. So what happens is that if you start late, you will have to save much more than what you would expect that you have to save in extra. And save the amount of savings is much more important than the interest rate you save as. So I think I said everything I wanted to say. Maybe I can draw a diagram from this just to finish this off with something. Yeah, so this is our 4 cases here. You can see what happens when you are late to the game. You have to go much steeper. This is what happens when you save less and have a lower interest rate, and this yellow and orange one will show you the trend. So save more, that will give you a head start in the beginning. If you have a higher interest rate but save less, then you will have this kind of rundown, and in the end you will get higher than this the one who is having the lower interest rate. So know this and consider this when you decide how you think about your future self, because your future self is whom you are taking care of when you are saving money. And I will see you in the next video. If you have any comments or questions or whatever that relates to this issue or any other issue, or have suggestions what kind of topics I should cover next, leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up or like or upvote or whatever, and you can subscribe or follow me for more content to come. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.